Mariupol has endured 7 weeks of siege. Little has been left. The last remaining Ukrainian fighters are surrounded here in the city's Azovstal factory. Russia claims 1,000 have just surrendered, and the Azov battalion released a video addressing those giving up.
Don't make heroes out of deserters and soldiers who chose to surrender. They have chosen the way of shame.
Mariupol's mayor says 20,000 have now been killed here, 20,000 so far. Putin is getting his troops ready for a new assault, and Ukraine's president is pleading with the West to provide more weapons.
Freedom must be armed better than tyranny. Western countries have everything to make it happen. The final victory over the tyranny and the number of people saved depends on them. Arm Ukraine now to defend freedom.
The US president tonight said he is sending helicopters, artillery systems and armoured vehicles in an $800 million package of military aid, and he is ramping up the rhetoric.
I called it genocide because it's become clearer and clearer that Putin is just trying to wipe out the idea of even being able to be a Ukrainian. And the evidence is mounting. It's different than it was last week. The more evidence is coming out of literally the horrible things that the Russians have done in Ukraine.
Human rights observers from the OSCE don't use the word genocide, but their own investigation says there is a pattern of Russian war crimes in Ukraine. They looked at this bombing of Mariupol's maternity hospital and the city's theatre, where this is now all that remains. We've also seen allegations of civilian atrocities around Kyiv. In Andriivka, this shed was allegedly used by Russians as a makeshift prison. Vitaly says 45 men in the village were executed, and the women were not spared.
In one house here, there was no man, and the Russians found a lady and her daughter, so they raped both. In another street in our village, they were trying to rape a lady, and her husband was trying to protect her. He was killed, and she was raped.
At the next house, the dog is the only survivor. The owner was a disabled man called Ivan.
I came over and he was nowhere to be found. I searched in the basement and our soldiers were looking for him. Then I found him here.
Whether the world calls this genocide or war crimes, Putin is still preparing his next assault. New satellite images from inside Russia show military build-up. Columns already amassed on Ukraine's border. Phase 2 of this invasion is on the way. Peter Smith, News at 10 in Ukraine.